man in that respect.
I mean, if you saw him in the street, if he wasn't famous, you might think, oh wow, yeah, he's a bit gangly and everything. But it's the way he moves and
He's
stuff like
attractive
that.
in a street. What makes him sexy is just the way he's so confident.
Yeah, well, if they do, as I say, I'm not complaining. I'm not going to say, oh, it's terrible, yeah. I just want people to take me serious as an artist. I mean, I'd like the serious as an artist and the shag as well. Cheers. It was frustrating being in the band for so long before we actually got to be popular. We always used to have to fight quite hard to win people over. People would kind of think, well, what are these on about? You know, what's the crack with these? Sometimes it's easier if something comes on and you say, oh, yeah, New Wave. Or, you know, oh, yeah, Mod. Or New Romantic Revival. Yeah. But we've never been very neat in that way. It was pretty rough. I mean, when we used to tour, we used to play Hull a lot for some reason, I don't know why. One time that always really sticks in my mind is when we played in Leeds. It definitely was officially the worst dressing room I've ever seen, in terms of, like, every single part of the wall had graffiti on it. Even the windows, when you went to look through the windows had graffiti on it.
2 minutes behind.
And then somebody had ordered some pizzas. So you're there trying to eat, you know, and everywhere your eye settles, there's something like shit in a bag or something, you know. And you're trying to eat a pizza which doesn't taste that great to start off with. So I ended up eating it with my eyes closed. You know, people say, oh, the glamorous world of Pulp. And you've just been in this kind of basically sat in a toilet eating a pizza. The band never officially stopped existing, but it slowed down to a real snail's pace. Most of our records that were released during the 80s, nobody really took any notice of. But we always did try to write pop songs. I suppose we just weren't particularly good at it before.
I'm standing here, you know, Deb and Ron are on my right, Andy Peace is on my left, you know, George is around the corner, Derek is up there, and it's all really sort of English. I'm quite sort of confident about that. I think that's one of the attractions of it.
Maybe. Sorry, as I say, the brain's not particularly functioning at the moment. When I first thought of being a pop star, when I was like about 10 or something, it was probably to do with being a bit awkward at school and stuff like that. And so I thought, well, if I could become a pop star, girls would fancy me and all things in my life would fall into place. I think, yeah, I'll have some of that, you know. The actual reality of it isn't quite the same. It's just that it isn't like all your problems in your life disappear and everything runs smoothly. You don't suddenly sprout muscles or something, you know, you don't change into another person. It is physically quite demanding, you know. It's the most concerts we've ever played in one lump, and we're still quite near the beginning of it, which I find worrying. I've already got twitchy eye. This eye started twitching. I'll probably end up with a fully light. Good afternoon.
Hello.
And the thing is that ordinary life's going on with your friends back at home and stuff like that, you know.
Yes, hold on, but can I just get rid of all this rubbish?
And yet you're living the same life day after day, and you're not moving on.
I'll get rid of this and I'll come back.
Oh, wow.
So it's a bit like Groundhog Day, you know. Basically living the same day over and over again. You wake up, maybe you might get it together to go down and have your breakfast. Sometimes you don't. You go on the bus, kind of collapse into a semi-sleep, or even a full one if you go in one of the bunks. Get to the hotel, and then you play your concert, and then you get drunk and go to sleep again. And then it just repeats and repeats and repeats.
start off fast out of the blocks, and then perhaps by a couple of weeks you may be flagging slightly. So pacing, that's the word I'm looking for, pacing. Because if you go too fast too early on, you're going to be tired at the end of it.
At the moment, I'm prepared to do, work quite hard. Because we've waited a long time for people to listen to us. And we've got a platform now. But ideally, I'd rather do 3 shows a year. It's boredom punctuated by 2 hours of excitement.
This group is Minty, and we're supporting Pulp on tour.
We call ourselves
We call ourselves Art Pop Heretics.
It means we're coming for you, so watch out.
Just a really mild inquiry, and I'm sorry to disturb you at home. Nicola from Minty wants to know, can she go naked tonight?
They're not my favourite band, particularly, but I knew they had a provocative nature. And, when people are, if there's a lot of young people in the audience, then it's gonna make them think about something.
All the young girls like to get to the front very early to do white knuckle riding the front rail, so when Jarvis comes on, they're the closest. But, see, we go on first, and it's really funny to watch the little knuckles loosening slowly off the rails. Then you see the front row start slowly pushing backwards. And occasionally I have seen 1 or 2 young ladies fleeing for their lives. Well, the fans have been really fantastic. It's opened their minds, expanded their horizons, and hopefully done a lot for makeup sales.
Yeah, oh God, yeah, oh really?
I think they're very talented.
10 minutes.
How many?
Sing through you. All right. Basically, we are going on now. Come on then, let's go on. Go on. So we're on first. Riding. Wait for the swell. I've got one. Get a swell when we actually go on stage.